One of the good things that our family does, I think that's really beneficial, is that our motto is we buy used and we save the difference. Teaching our children to be helpers and servers, givers instead of takers. To say that there are too many children is like saying there are too many flowers. And that's our prayer for our children, is that they're going to go out into the world and they're going to be the ones making a difference. And they're probably going to be the ones that are going to be paying for the Social Security and helping others.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Thursday, May 5th. I hope you're having a wonderful day. It is sunny here and I am ready for spring, and I'm here to talk with you about the Duggars. I actually was thinking about how in 20 days Josh Duggar is going to be sentenced, and I was thinking about how Anna soon is going to officially be a single mom. I mean, she's been a single mom for the last 5 months, but he's going to be moved to a federal facility, which isn't going to be in Washington County, and she's not going to have the same kind of access she's had to him while he's been in Washington County, Arkansas. So as I was thinking about that, I was like, I wonder what she's going to do for her kids while he's away. Well, I stumbled on something that I knew existed, but I hadn't really seen this before. And I was thinking about how Jeremy and Ginger's mom actually has this program for kids that have parents that are in the same types of facilities as Josh. So I stumbled onto a video on this website that is started by his mom. And yeah, we're going to get into that. So we're going to talk about Swan for kids and how Ginger and Jeremy, if Anna wanted help, could get help from them. So do you think that would actually happen? We'll talk about that in a second. But obviously, before we start everything, I just want to say thank you guys always for tuning in, for watching. Make sure you give this video a like before we get started and subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed, because y'all, why would you want to miss a single video? You don't. And comment. Leave me lots of them. I'd love to hear from you about what your thoughts are. Anna Duggar has a diligently working husband who is not so diligently working anymore. Josh Duggar is not going to be available for the workforce, at least in the for-profit world, for quite some time. His sentence is scheduled for May 25th, and he's facing up to 20 years. Knowing this, Anna has a lot of years that she's going to be without her husband, and she's got 7 kids that she needs to raise. In fairness, her oldest is 12, so one of them is, 2/3 through their childhood, and my guess is that Mackenzie is doing a lot to help out mom during this time. But Anna has children now that are entering a world of, I think, a place where no child wants to be. One of their parents is not around, and it's not because they've abandoned them. It's because of choices that their parents made that resulted in them losing their rights and their freedom. And it's confusing for kids that they have to go through anything like that. It's probably safer for them to not be around Josh, but that still doesn't take away the aching pain of the child and their experience of losing their father. For us, it's easy to say that it's best for his kids not to be around Josh. But if you speak that to a child, to them, they're not going to really understand why daddy isn't around. They're not going to be able to conceptualize or even think about the horrific things that their dad got involved in that took away his freedom. And if their mom still believes that he's innocent, they might think that the reason why their dad is gone is because of some giant conspiracy with Biden or Trump or someone at Washington County who set him up. Whatever the current conspiracy is in Duggartown, or Caleb Williams, or whoever it is that they're blaming this week. So knowing that, the kids are going to be dealing with so much. They have to go through life now without dad. I mean, like I said, for us adults, we know that this is best for them. For them, the kids, I think about this myself as a mom of a 9-year-old, and how, if something were to happen and his dad was put away, or if I was put away, like, how would you even explain that to them? My son at 9 would have a hard time digesting that. So you've got a lot of little kids that are under 5 years old, and you have one that's 12 and one that's like 9, 10, and one that's 8. It's hard, right? There's lots of programs out there and nonprofits that support children of parents that are incarcerated. And there's lots of statistics that show that children that have parents that are incarcerated will run the higher risk of them becoming incarcerated themselves. And there's all kinds of statistics that just are not favorable, but to these children who become high risk because of their parents' choices, which is sad. So Jeremy Volo's parents, or mom, actually runs this organization that does music for children of parents that are incarcerated. And I stumbled upon this video that Jeremy and Ginger made about how they support Swan for Kids because of children getting the love and the care that they need, right?
For kids. And what Swan for Kids is, it's a music mentoring program for children whose parents are in jail. 1 in every 14 children has a parent or both parents who are incarcerated. They are 70% more likely themselves to end up in jail.
The mission statement is that they are dedicated advocates for children affected by parental incarceration by providing life-changing intervention through music and mentoring to give America's most vulnerable children hope and a life-changing experience, improving their lives, our community's economy, and culture. And they say Swan students learn the disciplines of music. They are also exposed to biblical mentoring and gospel truths. Character qualities such as discipline, patience, faithfulness, self-control, and perseverance are taught in an encouraging and loving environment. So they actually have programs that they can send their kids to, and they have performances, they have lessons, they have instruments that they can play, they can do mentoring. But a summer program is Monday through Thursday, and it is actually located in Pennsylvania. So they have these day programs that the kids can go to in the summer to take lessons and get Bible mentoring. And I thought, geez, I wonder why the Volos haven't reached out to Anna and offered Swan for Kids for them. Or I wonder, if I were a fly on a wall, if Diana Volo is like contacting Anna saying, hey, why don't you send your child through to Swan for Kids? We could really help them. Now, granted, it's in Pennsylvania. It's nowhere near Arkansas. What are the chances that in this family, Anna grew up with a dad that did prison ministry, right? Her dad went from prisons to prisons to prisons to speak the word of the gospel, and he brought his books on addiction, and he wanted to help people come to God, and Anna would go to these prisons with him. And now you have Jeremy Volo, her brother-in-law, whose mom has a program specifically for children of people that are incarcerated. What are the odds that in a family of this, you have multiple people that have involvement in prison ministry? And what are the odds that you grow up in a world of prison ministry? I have a theory, and it's only a theory, and I've never been able to prove it. But part of me thinks that Jim Bob Duggar has always been drawn to people that have experience in prison ministries because of his struggles with Josh. And part of me has always wondered if he maybe sought out Michael Keller and Anna Keller because of Michael's own soft spot for prisoners. So if Michael, her dad, truly believes that anyone can be redeemed, and after they find God, things can get better, and anyone with Christ can sort of break the chains of whatever is causing them to make bad decisions, if he thinks that he can reform these people, did Michael see Josh as a potential, like, he's been redeemed, he found God, everything's great, he used the ministry, you know what I mean? Like, did Jim Bob specifically target individuals that were compassionate to prisoners, that were empathetic to people that have made choices that have taken away their freedom? Was he seeking out relationships with other families that would not look at what Josh has done with a negative eye, and instead an eye of empathy and of understanding? I feel like that might be the case simply because the Holtz, who are Kaylee's parents, they themselves, Jim was he was a chaplain at like a juvenile detention center, I believe. And so he had experienced with troubled youth. And then, and mind you, a lot of the stuff that was going on at the time, they didn't tell the Holtz about, but it was happening when Josh was involved with Kaylee. And then after Kaylee, he goes to Anna, whose dad runs prison ministry. So he goes from one girl's dad, who is a chaplain for juvenile delinquents, and then the next is a chaplain at a prison ministry. Is that a coincidence, or is that just Jim Bob trying to find people that will understand him or understand Josh? Either way, regardless, Anna grew up in a world where she was compassionate to prisoners, and now she's about to be a prison wife. The irony is not lost on me, but now her children are going to be affected by it. I wonder if there are programs in Arkansas that could potentially help the kids, like Swan for Kids. And I'm not endorsing Swan for Kids. I'm just saying that there's programs out there that can help kids that are that have parents that are incarcerated. But wouldn't it be interesting if Ginger and Jeremy or even Diana like reached out and offered help in the way through this program for Josh's kids? Or do you think they don't even care and they don't want anything to do with Anna? You know, Ginger and Jeremy's statement wasn't very endorsing or loving of Anna. In fact, they said they were praying for Josh's soul, and they believe that Josh is like damned to hell, basically. Maybe they don't want to help Josh's kids. Maybe they do. But wouldn't it be neat? I mean, again, not endorsing Swans, but what if the Volos were saving Anna Duggar? What if Anna Duggar was utilized Diana Volo and they all got saved by music? Wouldn't that be like a TV show? Anyways, tell me what your thoughts are about this. Do you think that Anna could benefit from services to help her kids like this? Or do you think it's just, whatever? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.